Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Thursday, June 4th. This is episode 43 from the Anything Goes podcast. And it is a late or early edition, however you want to put it, but it's about 12:15 a.m. Uh, I'm recording this late because I want to get some rest. I've been off all week. Want to rest and relax at least 2 days. I need to hit the barbershop tomorrow. That's all I really want to do. But I gotta make sure that we get this content out. I gotta make sure that we have these discussions. So with that being said, I hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a good week considering the turmoil that the country is in right now. I hope we can find some sense of relief and happiness and smile amidst the burnings, the protests, the peaceful protests, the antagonizers, which are the police in each and every city. I just hope that we as civilians, and especially my black people, can just find some type of relief and release. So, I gotta keep it real with y'all. I gotta come with the dialect and the dialogue, man. But it is what it is. It's our duty to report on what's going on and be voices for the new movement, whatever that may be. So we have to get started. First things first, I want to talk about these Atlanta police officers that have been fired for the tasing and just brutalizing two college students who were on their way home that got stuck in traffic. And the funny thing about this shit is leading the charge were two African American officers, two black officers. It was six in all. Five of the six were black. Let me tell y'all something. To those officers, they may never hear this. I don't care, but let me keep it real to every other black officer, every other black man that wants to become a police officer. At the end of the day, you are a black male first. In this system, I don't care what you do for it, you're black first. Be on the right side of history. Don't try to flex your muscle and your power and authority to fit in. Stand out. That was unnecessary, man. Especially you doing that to somebody who looks like you. And I don't want to hear nothing about black on black crime, black on black violence. I don't want to hear that. I'm not paying, the dudes and the women in the street to protect and serve me. We are paying these people to protect and serve. But bro, y'all are black and you doing that to your own. The system about to show y'all ass what they think of you. Won't want your ass now. Go ahead, figure it out yourself. But what y'all did was repulsive. And then you have a video that I seen today of an officer who looks black kneeling with protesters when his entire unit, the entire squad was making him stand up. He went back down on the knee. They pulled him up. They made him, he went back down. They pulled him back up. But the protesters were like, thank you. And he pounded one of the protesters up. That's what we want to see. When it ain't cool, when it ain't popular, when it ain't trendy, you standing with us. So salute to him. But them five, especially the five black down in Atlanta, I hope y'all get everything that's coming to you. You line stepping motherfuckers. For real. I had to get that out. I ain't want to spend too much time on it, but I had to get that out. But where I do want to officially start, I want to do some housekeeping. And this is for my city, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We've been protesting. Different groups have been protesting. They have been peaceful. Some have been large in numbers, some haven't. Everybody has the same agenda. Why the hell are y'all beefing? Why are y'all bickering online? It's no time for that. I don't know half of the activists in the city. I'm just getting my feet wet in this. I'm just getting started. But we are all grown. There's nothing to pick up a phone, send a text message, hop in the DM, hop on Messenger, and agree to disagree. But we all supposed to have the same end game. We all supposed to have the same conclusion, in our eyesight. And our mind needs to be on what can we do as a city, as the black community in the trade to ensure that this doesn't happen here, or that the powers that be flex their political muscle for us and get change. We don't need to be doing this online on Facebook. That ain't the move. Nobody is going to take you serious. Because after all of this dies down, as much as we want everybody to keep this energy up, some aren't. But as leaders, as people who are pointing you out, you know what I'm saying, to really lead and take charge, y'all have to come together. It's no time to be divisive. Malcolm and Martin did not agree on everything. Our house is burning down. Shout out to my partner Duck, who said that on Wednesday. Our house is burning down. We ain't got time to be, beefing with each other and airing our grievances. For real. I don't know what happened. I don't care to know what happened. You got an issue with somebody, talk about it outside of social media. Malcolm and Martin, they were, let me say this, history repeats itself, right? But you're supposed to learn from the previous generation and the mistakes of others. These two giants, these two titans, these two leaders, these two revolutionaries, they did not meet up and talk. And they could have. Imagined how strong and how more powerful the civil rights movement would have been if those two would have put their differences to the side earlier. We would have covered more ground. We would have got more accomplished. That's a dynamic duo to my city. Strength is in numbers and leadership. I don't know what's going on. Whatever it is, put it to the side. Talk behind closed doors, but we need to be a united front. In front of cameras, in front of social media. We all need to hold each other down. We not going to agree on everything. Agree to disagree. I don't even know what I'm saying. Man, I'm just giving commentary and dialogue. But we all should come together, each group, for real. It ain't no separatism. We all in this together. We all want change, right? That's the goal. Okay, we got to fix ourselves. We got to get this shit on and popping. We just getting started. We can't be cutting off our legs before we start running a race. We ain't going to ever finish. We ain't going to get nowhere. That's a fact. It's okay to disagree. Trust me. But let's do this shit civilized and in the right way. Pick up a phone, reach out to mutual parties. That's okay. It's cool. Nobody's going to clown you for that. But we need to show that we can do this. Because guess what? It's people our skin color that don't think we can. Trust me. They betting against us. Don't prove anybody right. Let's prove them wrong. That's all that's getting. I'm not feeding into that negativity. That's all the airtime that's gonna get with me. That's just what's up. For real. So in the case of George Floyd, which is one of the biggest reasons we are here, we have some new developments. All 4 officers have been arrested. All 4 officers have $1 million bonds. The perpetrating officer, whatever his last name, I ain't saying none of their names, but the one who we saw applying the pressure to George Floyd's neck, his charge was upgraded from 3rd-degree murder to 2nd-degree murder. And his other officers, the other killers, because that's how they do us, we get labeled a killer if we're just in the vicinity of somebody doing a crime and we know them. They have been charged with aiding and abetting, with third, let me say that right. They've been charged with aiding and abetting, 2nd-degree murder, and manslaughter in the 2nd degree. That's a win because all 4 of them could face the maximum sentence of 40 years, which I have no problem with. You see what protesting does? For the people who are against riots, I get it, but you see what riots do? Like, there is a method to all madness. That's my word. And we, a people, the people in Minneapolis, they turned up and they got things done for real. I'm happy that they upgraded this charge to 2nd-degree murder. Seriously. I think this dude should never see the light of day again. That's not how our system works. But we made a big step. But now we have to wait on the conviction. Now it's the time that we mobilize and organize and we come up with what we can do now while we have the attention of the entire world, not just the country, not just your city, not just your state, not just your county. The entire world is watching. So now what do? We need to get certain laws put in place. We need police reform. They did prison reform. Remember that. It can be done. We need police reform. We have to have plans put in place. If you're serious about this, you see what's going on, plan. Bring your ideas to the table in every city across the nation. Make sure that this never happens again, or when it happens, these cops won't get off. We can kind of guarantee jail to prison time, and that's what we need. The independent medical examiner, and this is shout out to Benjamin Crump. You know, we give him flack. I do too, seriously. But he wanted an independent medical examiner to look at George Floyd's cause of death. And that was a good call because the independent medical examiner said it was death by asphyxiation. It's homicide, putting the onus on the cops. The original ME who is in Minneapolis, I'm going to assume, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, of course. I don't mind admitting I'm wrong. Ruled the death a homicide, but he was kind of putting it on underlying health issues as well. He didn't put asphyxiation. He dressed it up to make it seem like they could put some of the onus on George Floyd, which is sick as hell, because we all see what happened. And we all see how he was killed. He didn't die. He was killed. He was murdered. But we all have been waiting for this, and it came down, and it's good to know that when you feel like it's corruption, you can go elsewhere where somebody doesn't have a dog in a fight. And that was definitely a blessing. But our work isn't done. These are just small gains. The ultimate goal is for us to get equality, for us to take it. We're not asking, we're taking it. We're just doing what we have to do to get there and to get people to look. But it's a bigger goal at stake, so do not celebrate too early because you don't want to be disappointed. We know how this country does when it comes down to us and when it comes down to convicting those who have done us wrong. So shout out to, the good, decent people who are sick and tired of this bullshit that we are going through in this country. We applaud you just for standing up for what's right. So y'all know, if you've been following along, I've been on this Breonna Taylor kick. She died. She was killed March 13th. We didn't hear about this really until May. It didn't pick up steam. I want justice for her more than anything else. I promise. Like, this is something that's on me. Louisville, Kentucky should be ashamed of themselves because they were not going to move on this. They didn't move on this in a timely manner. Let's just be honest. This was going to be a cover-up. The family of Breonna Taylor, they filed a civil suit. They were suing Louisville, Kentucky, the police department, as they should, because at the end of the day, this no-knock warrant was illegal. Matter of fact, the no-knock warrant shouldn't have even went through. They got the suspect earlier, maybe 3 hours earlier, before they executed these search warrants. I did some research, and I found an article in the Washington Post that a court case back in the 90s, Wilson versus Arkansas. It deemed that the Castle Doctrine and the Castle Doctrine and the knock announcement rule are embedded in the Fourth Amendment. It dates back to the Old English, which is a common state law. That home should be a place of peace and sanctuary, except for the most extreme circumstances. The police must knock and announce themselves and give the occupants time to answer the door peacefully to avoid violence. That is telling us that the police should knock and give us a warning. This is where it gets convoluted. This is where it's a gray area. They say that if they feel you could destroy evidence, which is drugs, of course, that they should not have to knock and enter your home. And a lot of police departments have used this tactic. That can't continue to happen. Like, you want to avoid violence, but you're inciting violence. Because if you're not entering my home and you're not announcing yourself, I don't know who you are. I don't know that you're a cop. I'm going to protect my house. And that's what went down. You come through the door, her boyfriend starts shooting because he doesn't know who you are, but you kill an innocent bystander. They found no drugs. Listen to this. They found no drugs. They thought that they were going to find drugs in these homes, and they found none. Someone close to the case said that the guy that they were looking for, that box that they seen him taking from her home, her apartment, was closed. Think about that. You didn't even do an investigation. Y'all just wanted to play army man. Y'all wanted to flex. 3 of y'all. and one of them got shot. I have no sympathy for him. This could have been easily avoided. What happened to the communication between the officers and dispatch? The officers and they higher command like, hey, we already got this dude in custody. There's no need for no knock warrant. Y'all can go tomorrow morning. But no, they wanted to play Rambo. And look what happened. They've been placed on administrative leave, which is not enough. They need to be fired and they need to be locked up. That's the case that I'm more worried about. I hope they don't excuse what these SOBs did. I really hope they don't. Because this was murder. It wasn't accidental. This law was supposed to be put in place to protect, so violence won't occur. So why would you do something? Why would you do the opposite and have violence occur? That's irresponsible. Y'all have to be held to a higher standard. And a lot of y'all motherfuckers are morally dead. Y'all see this. Look at what's happening with the NYPD in New York. They're brutal in Philly. These folks don't care. And this president that we have, this tyrant, he's inciting this shit. For real. Like, these cats already didn't care. Now you're giving them more ammo to not care even more. The FBI is looking into the case, which they should. I don't trust the FBI either. But, I mean, hopefully they deem this a homicide. We need justice for her. I'm afraid that she's not going to get it. For one, it's wrong what happened to her. But this is the case that I'm just like, no, we cannot let this go. So when people ask about the George Floyd case and what are we gonna do after, this is what we need to be doing now and after. We need to make sure Breonna Taylor is given her just due. We can't let her murder, her death, untimely death, be in vain. She had an entire life to live, an entire life ahead of her. She wasn't even 30. Clean record. Haven't been in trouble. Come on, man. No drug-related charges. They didn't do no investigation, man. They irresponsible as hell. Louisville, Kentucky. Bro, like, I'm disgusted with that police department. Come on. So, the police chief was fired. Not because of what happened with Breonna Taylor. I'm pretty sure a magnifying glass was put on him after her murder. But that didn't warrant him getting fired. What happened was, during the protest, David McAtee, a business owner, out there providing food for protesters, he was shot and killed in the street. And the two officers at fault didn't have their body cam on. Yeah, get that police chief up out of here, bro. Something's wrong with your department. You clearly have no control. And I'm glad they fired your ass. Because an innocent protester was murdered and his body was left laying in the street for hours. Are y'all serious? Muhammad Ali, who was living in Chicago, moved back to Louisville, Kentucky because of the racism there. This was what, 53 years ago. And y'all still ain't got that shit right. That is, come on. That's wild that this stuff is still happening today in 2020. Ask yourself this, man, for real. Why is fighting racism, why is that a problem? Why do people think we tripping? Like we are the problem. Bro, we not tripping. We not the problem. Y'all are. Everybody who's not saying anything or everybody who's screaming this all lives matter bullshit, they clearly don't know how it is to be black. Bruh, this ain't easy. It's exhausting. We are proud. My people, we're proud. We know where we come from. We educated ourselves because we weren't taught that in school. We educated ourselves. We know where we come from. A lot of us are lost and have been brainwashed, and don't have a knowledge of self. But a lot of us do. Why are we fighting for equality and rights that we should have been had? Come on, man. Slavery lasted how long? But we've been oppressed how many more? Hundreds of years? Like, come on, man. We tired of the bull. Y'all don't see that? Y'all don't want to stand with us? Y'all aren't morally, y'all have no morals and ethics. You're really that depleted on the inside that you don't know right from wrong. It's not our job to educate. Y'all know. Don't act stupid. Y'all know. Y'all know what we've been through. Y'all know what we up against. The systemic racism. Y'all see that. If y'all don't see it now, you never will. You should have been seen it, though. But especially now, the world is watching and y'all are still acting clueless. Look at this police department. Their mayor, Greg Fisher, I don't know where he was, but he walked into a place where the police department, work, whatever officers. He's a Democrat. Dozens of them walked out. They mad because he's not militarizing them. Why should he? Y'all are the problem. There ain't no, oh, it's good cops. If it was, somebody should have been like, hey, y'all need to go ahead and lock them dudes up. That wasn't right. But y'all disrespect the mayor because he's speaking out against the corruption. He's held accountable. And he's holding y'all accountable. That shouldn't be a problem. Y'all hold us accountable. You'll hold me accountable for something my homeboy did. Make that make sense. So I guess the rules don't apply, right? Because y'all look at us like gang bangers and thugs, even if we ain't a part of that lifestyle. Y'all are the thugs. Y'all are gang members. Y'all have the biggest gang in the world, in the nation. It's y'all. And y'all can flex y'all muscle any given time on anybody. But we tired of that. Y'all gets no passes. Ain't no passes. Not no more. Not no more. I had a conversation earlier, and it was that civil rights movement. Those were the warriors. My parents and the generation after my mom, like that in-between generation before it hit us, they weren't built like that. We caught fire of that era, that civil rights era. We caught some of that. Some of us are with it. The ones coming up after us, they ain't playing. Word up. They are not playing. Them days is over of us being quiet. We ain't being quiet no more. We're not holding our head down. We're not whispering. We tired of seeing our brothers and sisters gunned down, choked out, a knee to the neck, beaten. We're tired of seeing that at the hands of you cowards. They talking about, you know, demilitarizing, if that's a word, but taking the tactical gear away from these police departments, as they should. Y'all can just beat up on us at your own free will, but if you take that equipment off, man, a lot of y'all gonna fold. That's just what's up. Treat us like you would want us to treat y'all. Look, the roles will reverse. That's the thing y'all don't really know about the majority of black people. We ain't violent. Like, we're very accepting too. That's like, come on, y'all don't see it. We're forgiving to a fault. But we ain't begging, we ain't asking nobody to understand. We'll do it ourselves. You can join us or you can't, or you're not, and that's fine if you're not. Just sit on the sideline, be quiet, don't disturb. We got to move to the NFL. And we got to talk about Colin Kaepernick. Went to a Super Bowl. If there's no malfunctions, he probably wins the Super Bowl because they were on a roll. 2 times been in the NFC Championship game, of course, cashed it in once. Blackballed after the 2016 season. He took a knee to protest police brutality. And he was blackballed for standing up for what's right. And then the NFL, they went on this protesting during the anthem. They were pressured to even bend a little bit. They started drug testing Eric Reed, the safety for the Panthers, randomly. He was a teammate of Collins in San Francisco. He started getting all these random drug tests. You cannot tell me that wasn't a backlash for the stance that he took, supporting his brother. But at least he got another chance. Cap didn't. Some of the same people, not all, some of the same people who are apologizing to Kaepernick, both black and white, and other. Now they singing his praises. Oh, we need to apologize to Cap. Nah, y'all wasn't feeling them back then. Y'all wasn't even feeling them with this private workout. He knew what was going on. Now the NFL is fake caring about social injustice and racism and the oppression of black people. But when we tried to do this right, when we tried to protest the anthem, and I say we because this is a us thing, it was a problem. When it was peaceful, it was a problem. It wasn't popular for the NFL. Now the popular thing to do is to jump on this bandwagon. Keep y'all asses over there, we fine. We don't need y'all. When we needed y'all 4 years ago, y'all turned y'all back. Stay there. Stay there. It's cool. Don't jump over here now. Don't preach equality now. You didn't care. You showed your hand. We don't want that. But I appreciate y'all acknowledging that Colin Kaepernick was right. What he was doing was right. We tried peace. Peace didn't work. Now you woke up the warrior in some of us, and it's a problem. Nah. So we gonna call Vic Fangio, the head coach of the Broncos, to the front. You really said you don't see racism in the NFL? Everything I just said applies to him. You think Colin was treated fairly? Eric Reed, they were treated fairly? No. You don't remember when black quarterbacks were not high on the pecking order? This just started to change. This wasn't something that was normal. Even when we had black quarterbacks that could stand in the pocket and fling it, it still wasn't enough. Even a couple years ago, you had quarterbacks have to come out and change their positions, not given a chance to develop. That's not, you don't think there's a problem with that? Or how about that it's only, what was it, 4 minority head coaches? No black owners? 1 minority? Not many black executives, if any? But there's no problem. That's systemic racism. Are you serious? You don't see it? In the NFL, it's all up and down that good old boy network. How dare you? And then you're going to try to walk the comments back. No. Stay your ass over there. You're a part of the problem. You're not. See, y'all don't know what it is to be black. So you don't know what racism looks like. But we ain't got time to explain that to you. And then we go to that little golden boy, Drew Brees. Drew Brees. Sometimes the best response is no response. Even if you're asked a question, you don't have to answer. You can say, I'm not really going to get involved with that. He was asked about kneeling because of what's going on now. And his response was, he would never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag. And then he went into this whole, both of my grandfathers fought in World War II. Okay. We've had grandfathers, uncles fighting in World War II as well. Guess what they came home to? Bullshit. Nothing. Still treated like second-class citizens. So the flag that you saluting and you putting your hand over your heart, that means something to you. That don't mean nothing to us. Because those liberties and that justice for all, that land of the free, home of the brave, that ain't for black people. Trust me. That's for white people. It's not for black people. I'm sorry. We don't feel that. We don't see it. We never have. Not back then and not now. We've had people go fight wars that they shouldn't have been fighting. Because guess what? That liberty and justice for all, that wasn't for us. We were put on the front line to protect y'all. Oh, they were fighting to protect, for freedom and no, for who? Not for y'all. Y'all are free. Y'all been free. We haven't. You need to be sensitive to that, but you're not. You're in the locker room with black men, and you telling them that they're disrespecting a flag that's not for them. You don't see that. You're in one of the most racist states. in the United States and you ain't sensitive to that, they burning your jersey and saying fuck Drew Brees at these rallies. I hope you can take the heat. You tough. You good. Cause if you weren't, you wouldn't have put out that statement. Your your wide receiver, Michael Thomas, he called your ass out. He did. He said he don't know no better. We don't care if you agree or whoever else don't agree. That's from your number one target, bro. You didn't expect that, huh? We're not begging anybody to understand, but it's like, dude, just don't say nothing. Because you don't understand. Or you choose not to understand. Ignorance is bliss. And that was an ignorant comment. Because it's never been about the flag or the anthem. You know who get it? Aaron Rodgers. He's been saying the same thing since 2016. What's wrong with you? In one of the least progressive states in the country. Poor timing. Very poor timing. And your contemporaries are calling you out. And everyday football fans are calling you out. Don't hide. Don't walk it back. Stand on it. Double down. You already showed us what's up. You didn't have to answer that question. I would have respected that more than for you to just be insensitive. It's never been about the flag. Why are y'all saying that still? Y'all still don't see it's not about that. It's not about a flag, bro. It's what that flag's supposed to symbolize. It's supposed to symbolize freedom. We don't have it. I want the freedom. Forget the flag. The liberation. The equality. The hell with a flag. For real, because it's not holding true to what it symbolizes. It never had for black people. Come on. You gotta think. And you win there with dudes that's in the trenches that will put their body on the line for you, bro. Are you serious? Come on. Your number one targets are black. And this the stance you take, but you expose yourself and that's cool. You don't understand the fight and we ain't gonna beg you to. There's a big disconnect. We are running a race. And we've been running this race since we got to this country. And it's exhausting. Mentally, emotionally. Black people are drained. But you waking something up in each and every person. And it is our duty to make sure that this place is better for our kids. For us. For everybody who comes after us. I know it's hard for white people to stand up against other white people. How you think we feel? How do you think we feel? Seriously. When we have to stand up and take up for ourselves with a system that does not agree with us, clearly. It wasn't made for us. It was made to keep us oppressed. We know power corrupts. But it's time for us to take that power away from y'all. We need a level playing field. So I got to tie everything back in. What we need and what we want, we have to fight for it. It's not going to be easy and it's not going to be given. But if we continue to make people who are in these positions of power to change legislation, to really, really evoke change, like, we have to keep going. We have to keep fighting. We can't let up. It's not time for that. Shout out to the celebrities and to the athletes, the entertainers that are out here marching and protesting. Steph Curry and Aisha Curry, Klay Thompson, Danny Green, Trae Young, Trey the Truth, Steven Jackson. And you know he hurt. And he's still out here fighting for the cause, for the purpose. That was his best friend. That's his brother. You know how tough that is? To have to get up every day and be on the front line, leading a movement, and you ain't really getting to grieve. You know how many black mothers, black fathers, black children who's supposed to look at the police as a safe haven because they supposed to serve and protect. You know how many of them are hurting? They can't trust y'all. We already don't. Trust me. I teach my son all the time, and I'm afraid for him. He's 13. He ain't cute no more in the eyes of cops. He's a man in the eyes of cops. I tell my son, if you stop, and it's sad, it's even sad I have to tell a 13-year-old this. If you are stopped, you're a minor, you need to tell them that, I can call my dad. I'm not supposed to answer questions. I'm a minor. I have to tell him that. But am I telling him the right thing? Seriously. Because that might be even saying too much. Am I telling him the right thing to do? Because that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to come get me. You're supposed to talk to me. Not my child. I don't want you grabbing on my son, slamming him against a car, or making him feel like he's worthless. He shouldn't be subjected to that. But this is what we have to do for our young black boys, especially. But am I telling them right? It makes no sense that we have to walk around in fear. I fear my son walking to the store. I don't know who's going to approach him. And I'm not talking about the people in the neighborhood. I'm talking about the cops. You might be having a bad day. They can have a bad day. We can't. You see the disconnect? You see how all this shit just ties in together? Nobody's trying to incite a riot or a war or none of that. Man, we just want what's deserved. This country is supposed to be about life, liberty, justice for all, freedom. For who? Not for us. This wasn't a choice to come here. Why am I fighting for something that is owed to me at birth? But like Martin Luther King said, it's our responsibility to promote change. Ours. My brown and black people. And that's what we have to do. We can't sit on our hands, man. That's the wrong thing to do. A lot of y'all don't know how to get started. I didn't either. I just jumped out here. I'm not the face of nothing. I'm not the leader of anything. I'm just a voice. We have to use what we can to promote change. A lot of people are losing friends. I see it up and down my timeline. A lot of people are losing friends behind this. But it's okay. Because if they not standing with you and screaming out about racial injustice and just about morally right situations, if they not doing that, they were never your friend. Don't be my friend when you think I'm content and when I'm not ranting and raving and yelling about black power. Don't just be my friend then. Be my friend when I'm hurting, when I'm in pain, when I want you to stand beside me because I thought we were like that. Why don't you use your political flex the same way these folks went and marched with their guns because they want quarantine on lockdown? They equated the shit to slavery. Bruh, why don't y'all do that while we out here putting in the groundwork? If you really rock with us, flex like that. Y'all get your guns, because they not going to bother y'all. Go get your guns, march. Tell them Black Lives Matter. Tell them you want to see change. That's a flex like a motherfucker. Real spill. For those who want to know how they can help, there it is, right there. Flex. Y'all got our back. You want us to believe that? Do that. That's something you can do. Real spill. But hey, I fumbled a little bit tonight, but I got the point across. Don't stop fighting. We can't. We can't cut off our legs before we start this race. We'll never get started. We'll never finish it. We have started. We got so much more groundwork, much more work and hours and studying to put in. Remember, get organized and be uniform and be ready for whatever come our way. Those days of being unprepared and the blind leading the blind, that's gotta be over with. Those days have to be over with. If not, we're never gonna win this race. Never. Get it together. Let's unify. Real spill. So, with everything that's going on, take some time out for yourself. Debrief. Put your phone down. Get off social media. Take you a day or two. You deserve it. It's so much craziness and nonsense going on in this world, in this country, in our own backyard, that you need a break. Make sure that you're paying attention to your mental. You do not want to slip in a place of darkness. I know it's tough. Cry if you have to, because we are grieving as a people. We always are. And some don't know how to grieve. Figure out how to grieve and grieve. Take a break. It's okay. We all fighting, so don't worry about it. If you just go missing for a day, you owe that to yourself. But y'all keep fighting, keep posting, keep spreading knowledge. I'm going to holler at y'all next Thursday. I promise. But as always, man, I love y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.